How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another episode previously in DBS, where I go over the week's DBS news in one easy to digest video, so you don't have to go through each day scrambling about. You can get it all in one go. And with this week, we've actually got quite a lot, so apologies in advance. This is going to be a pretty long episode because on Friday we got a lot of information drops on us regarding the finals for each country and stuff. And also we had both black and yellow reveal stuff today. Not today, but this week. So without further ado, we're going to go through the week's news and see what we got. So first of all, we started getting the yellow stuff today because on the weekend we had the black stuff, and then the week it's meant to be black yellow. So after getting the black stuff, we got the yellow, and it is Turles and Gohan. So first off, we got to look at the Turles leader. So on both sides, it's got the same permanent that the old green one does. Where if a Turles Crusher Corpse in your battle area will be placed in the drop area by one of your skills, so it goes into warp instead. So it means this deck can't successor, which is a good thing because it's so easy for the Turles deck to drop enough to drop like Cell Zeno and things like that, and successor very very easily because they're playing stuff for free. That they're kind of like trying to make sure it's not too strong and reduce the. I put that effect to reduce the power in that aspect. And on the front side, it's got a auto where when it starts off in the lead area, like how some old autos we have from leaders, where when it starts you play a field card. This one instead, when it starts, puts a unison in your unison area with 2 markers on it, being the one we got here, which we'll go over in a bit. So that's pretty strong. It starts off with unison with 2 markers on it, meaning like just from turn 1 or from the start of the game. If you play Vegeta Powerful Transformation, that is live as soon as the game starts in this deck, which is very powerful. And then the standard of when it attacks, draw a card, which is good. And then for his Awaken, it's got a normal Awaken and an alt Awaken. So when your life's at 4 or less, or if you have 3 or more life face up, you draw 2 cards to flip over. So that's quite easy. Just like the old Turles, you can flip over when you have 3 or more life. But instead of the old one having, which had untap 1, draw 1. This one just has draw 2, which is pretty interesting for a defensive awakening for a yellow leader. And then on the back, it's got an auto, I guess standard auto, same as what the old one had. And on the front side now was when it attacks, draw 1. But it now has an activate battle skill, which is once per turn and requires Spirit Boost 1, so knocking it marker off unison, and paying 1 yellow. And you can either have 1 or 2 effects, where if you have 2 or more face-up cards in your life, you can give your leader 10k power for the battle, making it 25k swing, which is pretty strong. Or you can choose a Fruit of the Tree of Might in your hand, discard it, and if you do activate its activate battle skill without paying its energy cost. So that's quite interesting. Now, I'm not sure if you have to have the fulfill when it says without paying its skill cost, if that just means without paying the energy required to activate the card, or just by the looks of the wording, it might be that you don't pay all the costs before by flipping back down one of your opponent's life and stuff like that, or having all green energy or something like that, which would be interesting because that would then be able to means just by discarding that card, you become a 35k double strike leader, which could be strong. And then the leader that it plays out for free at the start of the game is a specify 1 cost yellow, 16k power. As a permanent of it can attack, just so in line with the Showdown cards, which are very strong power wise, but can't attack. And it has an auto and 2 marker skills. Its auto is if your leader card is yellow Turles Crusher Corpse card. When your leader card attacks, you can choose 1 Crusher Corpse card in your hand, add it to your life face up, and if you do, you use 1 face up Turles Crusher Corpse cards in your life in a combo. So it's got a kind of like the old set 12 Piccolo-esque kind of theme where you combo from life, and unlike the Piccolo, the effect isn't on the leader, it's on the Tree of Might itself, the unison instead, which is pretty cool. And then its +1 is an auto skill of if your leader card is a yellow Crusher Corpse card, which your leader is, at the start of your opponent's turn, you flip it to 1 of your life face up. So it means, so if you go on second, as soon as you start the game, you've got your unison out with 2 markers on, and as soon as your opponent starts their turn, you flip up to 1 of your life face up, which is a part of helping you awaken quicker, because you need 3 or more life face up to awaken. And also you get a mark on Unison, so Unison becomes a free mark on Unison. And you also have 1 life face up to start helping you awaken, which is pretty cool. And then its activate main is a -2, where you add up to 1 extra card with energy cost of 1 and Tree of Might in its card name from your deck to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So it's nice, is a way to search your Tree of Might extra cards that you can use with the leader, the old green one from the from set 12. I'm not sure if that's going to be used much, because there's going to be Spirit Boost. It's in the Spirit Boost era. Oh yeah, the Spirit Boost series. So you're going to be losing markers that, so don't think you can be pulling that off that often. And then part of the Turles card, we got 3 interesting Turles cards. So the first one we got is Turles Power the Tree. So it's got 2 autos. First one is if your leader card is yellow. If your leader card is yellow Turles, when this card is played from your hand, you could use 1 Turles Clash of Cups card in your hand, add to your life face up, and if you do, add 1 card from your life to your hand. So that's another way to help awaken quicker. Just playing this, add something to your life face up, take a life that's not face up, so you can help try awaken quicker. And then it's Ever Auto, which is limit 1 and Spirit Boost 1, meaning to trigger this, you can activate this skill once on all copies of the card for the turn, and you need to remove a marker from Unison to do so. If your leader card is yellow Turles, when this card attacks, it gets plus 1,000 power, making it 5,000 base, and then you get to use up to 1 face up Turles Crush Corpse card from your life in the combo. So that's one way to combo from life some of the Turles cards. Then the second one we got is Turles the Great Manipulator. Not sure if this one's going to be used much in this deck. This is part of the field card, which seems to just go quite only well if you play the intended theme of the deck, which is both the yellow decks against each other. So it's a 1 cost 4k with a permanent. If you have a field extra card in your battle area, it gains blocker. And then there's also, if your leader card is yellow Turles, when this card is played from your hand, you flip up to 1 card in your life face up, then you activate up to 1 Turles Power Ball from your deck or drop area to shuffle your deck if you look through it. So we're going to see the Turles Power Ball come up in a bit, and it's basically a fill card for the deck. And then we have the SR for the theme for this deck in Turles All Too Easy. So it's a 5k 20k double strike. 5 cost 20k double strike. With an auto of when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards from rest mode and KO it, and then you can choose 1 or 2 effects. You can draw 1 or KO another battle card that's in rest mode. And you're not going to be paying 5 for it because it's activate main, where for 2 yellow, if your leader card is a mono yellow Saiyan, and you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. So from your turn 3, for 2 yellow, if you got a mono yellow Saiyan, you can play this and either pop a rest mode battle card and draw 1, or pop 2 rest battle mode cards. Rest mode battle cards, and then have a 20k double striker, which is pretty strong. That's going to be a very good generic card for yellow. Then we have some of the Turles Crusher Corps, some of the Ever of his team. So we got Almond, Keko, and Diaz. So both Almond and Cacao both have the same first auto, where if your leader card is a yellow Turles card, at the end of a battle in which this card was using the combo from your life, play this card from your drop area, then flip up to 1 card in your life face up. So that's pretty cool how once you combat from life, you flip up something else in your life to replace it. So you're not, so you're technically adding more cards from your life face up to awaken as quick as possible. Like by the looks of it, this deck can awaken by turn 2 very easily. And then you have its on Almond, you've got the Ever Auto, which is Spirit Boost 1. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with entry cost of 4 or less in rest mode and KO it. So you got a bit of removal in Almond, which is pretty good. And then for Cacao, is Ever skill is an activate main. Choose 1 Tree of Might Divine Roots in your Unison area and place this card under the chosen card and a marker to the chosen card. So it's nice. After playing the Cacao and then swinging with it because it's a 15k base, you can then, if it's still there, pop under Unison, give it an extra marker, because you've got some spirit boost skills, so it means this deck seems effective in keeping the utilizing spirit boost a lot better than most decks can. And since the Tree of Might is a key theme in this deck to combo with from life and flip your life up, that's a good way to keep the markers high on it. And it's good because both of these are 15k base, so they're in like sweet range, just like as we saw with King Piccolo, where they come down and have enough power to pressure your opponent's leader on their awakened side. And then we have Days, Power of the Tree. So this is the barrier one, but it's only a 9k, unlike the other two. It's got a permanent as well, where if this card is in rest mode, your opponent can't attack the Tree of Might Divine Roots. So that's a nice deadly defender for your Unison. And to get it out, you've got an activate main with limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader card is a Turles card, then you play this card from your hand, then play up to 1 Tree of Might Divine Roots from your deck in your drop area with a marker on it. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So this is nice how you can play this and then play a Unison if you want, if you don't want to have one on board, and then put in attack with it to put in rest mode, and now it protects your Unison. But if your Unison does somehow get taken out, you can then use this to be able to revive it from your drop very easily. So it's a very nice recursion of a Unison. Then we have the other two, Raisin and Lacassie, I think, which are the twins, like we saw similar in the green Turles deck from set 12. They both also have the same, also the almond and similar one, not exactly the same, but similar, where if your leader card is a yellow Turles card, and in the event on which this card was using a combo from your life, play this card from your drop area. And then Raisin comes in gets played inactive. Lacassie gets played in rest mode, and Raisin is a blocker. And these ones are both 5k power because they're the little weaker ones. And they both have an auto, which is limit 1, where when this card is played, play up to 1 mono yellow of the other copy with energy cost of 2 or less when your deck in rest mode. And then you shuffle your deck, you can't play copies of this card in turn. The only difference in those effects is Lacassie also has the effect of allowing you to add up to 1 card from your life to your hand when it triggers that skill. So that's pretty cool. So you can get, there's a lot of ways, so almost all of the Turles Crush Corpse are able to play 1 combo from life, so it's like a little Piccolo-esque deck, which is quite nice and a lot more balanced than the old red one, like the King Piccolo was. And then moving on to the Gohan lead, and just looking at this, at the set, the leaders for yellow seem like almost revamped versions of Launch and King Piccolo, because as you saw from the Turles, it's got the same kind of thing as King Piccolo, where you play stuff for combo from life. And this Gohan is a bit like Turles, Launch, in the fact that it doesn't have an awakened skill. It can flip back over and forth from an interesting mechanic. So with Gohan, on its front side, it's got an auto where if you have 1 or more energy, when a player places a field extra card in a battle area, you may flip this card over. If you do, switch up to 1 of your yellow energy to active mode, and you can't flip your leader card to its front for the turn. Then you choose 1 or 2 effects. You either draw 1, or you add up to 1 yellow field extra card with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area to your hand. So that's quite cool. So it works with any. It's nice that it is when any player places a field extra card, and it's nice that they got the requirement to have 1 or more energy. So it doesn't mean that it means that when your opponent starts off the game with a field in their battle area, like some leaders do, it doesn't trigger. It's got to wait until you at least have a turn. It's pretty cool. Then on its back side, leader back, it's got 3 autos. The first one is when it attacks, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch to rest mode, and it gains 5k power for the turn. And then another auto where once per turn, when it clears the opponent's battle card, you switch it to active mode, which is pretty cool. So you can potentially get 2 swings with that, be a 20k into 25k with the leader. And its last auto, which allows it to flip back and forth, is when a player's field extra card leaves the battle area, you may flip this card to its front. If you do, you can't flip your leader card to its back for the turn. And if it's your opponent's turn, switch up to one of your yellow energy to active mode, and it gets 5,000 power for the turn. So that's pretty cool. So it can flip back and forth. So from the front side, it flips over to its back by someone playing a field card. Then while it's on its back, if a field card gets removed from the field, if any player's field card leaves the battle area, then it flips from back to front. And then we have the Kaioken Son Goku unit, which we've already been over in previous episodes of this series, so we don't really need to go over it. But that's the one for this theme. And then with some of the field synergy cards we've got for the Gohan to kind of keep the field momentum going. First one we have is Son Gohan and Higher Dragon Best Buds, a 1-drop with an auto where when this card is played from your hand, look up to 7 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 yellow field extra card with energy cost of 1 among them to your hand, or activate it. This off your deck, so that's quite nice. Or you can look at the top 7 cards and look for any 1-cost yellow field extra card, and either keep it in your hand or play it. So turn 1, you can easily get that field card out, so you can flip over. And the good thing is it doesn't specify anything, so you can still. So it's nice that you can play in this deck Plat Vegeta to get that effect as well. That's a good field card to use for this. And there's actually battle is limit 1. Switch this card to rest mode. Then choose 1 yellow field card, extra card in your battle area and place it in your zone as drop area. Choose it to one of your mono yellow Saiyan cards, and it gets 1,000 power for the battle. So that's a good way to, in your opponent's turn, sack off a field card so you can switch from your leader's front side to its back. And because it says any mono yellow Saiyan cards, and it just says cards, you can give this 1k boost to your lead as well, which is nice. Then the other one we got is Higher Dragon Battle of the Tree. It's a 1-cost battle card with a 1-cost 10k combo power. It's a blocker with an auto of choose 1 yellow field extra card and your energy cost of 1 in your battle area, and place it in its drop area. When this card in your hand is played or comboed with, you draw a card. So that's nice. You got a kind of you got a cantrip in a sense that allows you to trigger get rid of field card, the flip your leader back over to its from one side to the other, or from its awakened side to its unawakened side, or you've got the same thing but have it as a form of like the old Unbreakable Goku. You just combo, draw a card after as long as you sack off a field, which is nice synergy with the deck. And then you've got Krillin Battle of the Tree. That's never 1-drop, like they're all 1-drops, 4Ks. It's got permanent where if you have a field card extra card in your battle area, this card gets blocker, which is a lot of the cards for this theme is going to have. And then there's also if you don't have a field extra card in your battle area, when this card is played from your hand, activate 1 yellow field extra card with energy cost of 1 from your drop area. So once again, as the bottoms suggests, there's a good field synergy in these 3 cards where the Gohan can look at the top 7 cards to find a field card, and the Krillin can reason from the drop, and then the Higher Dragon Battle of the Tree can have a way to, in your opponent's turn, sack them off to get you to flip back to your from one side to the other. And then we got some other Gohan support as well. Well, the first one we got here isn't technically just Gohan support; it's just generic good yellow support, and a nice thing for you to have is a 5-cost Son Goku, a gift from the earth. It's deflect blocker, so a nice thing having deflect means it's your opponent's not going to stop it from coming out with card plays. Then it's got a permanent where for each marker on using cards in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. So the good thing is it says for each marker on using cards in play, not specifying yours or your opponent's. So it means if your opponent's got a unison on play with at least 3 markers on, it reduces this card by 3 because you've got to remember you have to pay a specified cost. So you can only reduce it from a 5 to a 2 if there's 3 markers on the board. So as I said, if your opponent's got a unison with 3 markers on board, it's now 2 cost, which is fantastic. And then you've got an activate main. Well, you've got 2 activate mains. The first one, it makes it very strong, where once per turn, choose one of your opponent's unison cards with 3 or more markers on it. When you remove markers from a card using this card's Spirit Boost skill, this turn, you can remove that many markers from the chosen card as well. So that's really nice how for the second skill where you need Spirit Boost too, if your opponent's got a Unison with 3 or more markers on, you can choose that Unison and take markers off their Unison for your Spirit Boost, which is amazing. And the last skill that has will activate main limit 1 Spirit Boost 2, where nice to have is limit 1, when you can only trigger it once, but you need to take 2 markers off, but you're going to be using that taking off your opponent's Unison. You choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less in rest mode. You KO it, and then this card becomes a 25k double strike for the turn. So this is really good support for yellow. Like, it doesn't need it at the moment because it's got some very strong cards, but that's a very good generic card for yellow. Then we got some Gohan the Misadventure. So we got some apes for it. So it's a 4 cost 19k blocker. With a permanent of, if this card in your battle area will be placed in its owner's drop area by one of your skills, it's sent to its owner's warp instead. So that means you can use it for successor. And that's the reason. And the reason for that is because you can cheat out quite easily with his auto by paying 1 yellow. If your leader card is yellow, when a yellow filled extra card in your battle area is placed in its owner's drop area, you play this card from your hand, then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards in your own barrier and tap it. Put it in rest mode. That's quite handy. That's a really nice skill because normally at the moment in this game most people swing the leader first, so it's nice that you can combo with the higher dragon we saw earlier, sacrifice your field card, and then trigger this to play this for 1 yellow energy and tap the unison down, and then have a blocker on board to block and never attack. Then we have the last one, Piccolo Battle the Tree, which is a 2 cost 5k, which is a never SR for the for yellow and 1 more specific for the archetype. It's a blocker, counter attack, where you negate the attack, play this card, and then you can activate counter attack skills for the turn. So that's interesting. So after using this counter attack, you can't negate any more attacks. And he also has a permanent, because you're not going to be paying that 2 energy for this. Of when activating this card's counter skill from your hand, if your leader card is a yellow Saiyan card, you may choose 1 yellow filled extra card with an energy cost of 1 that is in your hand or battle area, place it as in its drop. If you do, you can activate this card's counter skill without paying its energy cost. So it's another way to trigger the leader's effect. Is move it from its back side to its front side, which is pretty cool. And then also one more thing we got is a lot of some interesting yellow skillless monsters. We got Never 1-drop higher dragon. This one's just higher dragon on its own for to go with the old Gohan stuff with this as well. And then we also got Never yellow monster to give a bit more synergy to the yellow monster, and also indirect support to the old Gohan and higher dragon stuff we got back in set 11, I think it was, with wilderness monsters, so Never monster, a skillless monster. So it's looking like we're getting a bit more monster support to build a monster deck if you want to. And then some of the generic yellow cards we got is we got the yellow version of the Ranits we saw for red, which is for this one it's Tien and Chaozu Battle the Tree. One costs 4k, which is blocker, and it also switches card to rest mode. When your opponent uses a skill to play a battle card with energy cost greater than their current energy, you can choose it and switch it to rest mode, which is pretty cool. You tap one of yours down, tap one of theirs down. And the super and as we saw in this, I think in this set we're getting 1 super combo for each color. I'm not sure if we got one in black. Can't remember. But for yellow, it's Yamcha Battle Tree, which is just a standard of if your leader is yellow in your life 4 or less, which using the combo draw 1 card. And then we got a Never SR for yellow in Son Goku Steadfast Assistance. So this is the one we saw in the trailer next to the Gohan and Turles leader, and it's a 3 cost 5k counterplay with blocker, and the counterplay skill is the battle card being played is played in rest mode, then play this card and draw 1. And the permanent on it is when activating this card's counter skill from your hand, reduce this card's energy cost by 1 for each yellow extra card in your battle area, energy area, and drop. So this is very, very good, and it's a good thing Mecha got banned, because Mecha had a whole thing of revolving around extra cards, and it's very easy to like for Mecha, it'd be very easy to get this like put down to 1 energy because you've got to still pay the specified cost, so it'd be a minimum of 1 cost, and having that be able to get that live really easy. And it's nice because it'd be if you can charge an extra card and start off one with like some decks like the old Meta Cooler deck, which started off with a fill card in its when it started the game, and if you charge one, you then have instantly turn 1 this live, which is pretty cool. And then we got some of the extra cards. So for the Turles ones, we got Forbidden Power, Never SR. This is like I would say a different version of Nimbus, because it's Forbidden Power. Counter attack if your leader card is yellow, your opponent can only attack with battle cards 1 more time for the turn. So it's like Nimbus, but it's essentially Nimbus, but it doesn't negate the attack, but it also doesn't discard a card to do it as well. So where Nimbus, you negate the attack and discard a yellow to make it so they can only attack 1 more time with battle cards. And this is just you use it. It doesn't negate that attack, but you don't discard to do the same thing. But this one's got another utility of is activate battle skill, where if you need the card is yellow and it's your turn, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, no barrier, switch it to rest mode, then choose up to 1 of your yellow cards, and it gets 10k power for the battle. So you get a 10k, so 1 cost 10k boost to a yellow card, but you also get a resting sunken barrier, but that's not like resting sunken barrier isn't great. You want to be removing something for barrier or negating skills. Like I can't see this being used much over Nimbus, even though Nimbus isn't used that much, or even Final Flash, which the Activate Battle, which is a worse Final Flash really. And then we have the Turles Parable, which we saw one of the 1-drop Turles be on the play. It's a 1-drop 1 cost fill card with an auto activate main and activate battle. So first, the auto is if your leader card is a green or yellow Saiyan card, meaning it can work with the old Turles. At the end of your turn, in which this card was placed in a battle area, you may choose 1 Great Ape card with energy cost of 4 in your hand and play it in your opponent's battle area with the skills negated for the game. And if you do, you draw 2 cards. So you give your opponent a Great Ape card that's 4 costs less, and you draw 2. So you go even, but your opponent pluses by just getting a battle card they can attack with. And then activate main once per turn for 1 energy. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's grave cards with energy cost of 4 or less and gain control of it until the end of the turn. So the only good thing I can see about this is you can give your opponent a Great Ape, then tap 1 to take it, and then sack it off after attacking with it for the Ginyu we got in set 10, which could play itself by sacking off one of your a card you stole from your opponent. But that's a lot of investments to do that, and you don't really plus from this card's also, so it's not amazing. And then it has an activate battle where you place this card in its drop area, choose up to 1 of your cards with Turles in its character name, and it gets 6,000 power for the battle. So that's alright, but yeah, it's not the greatest of cards. The last one we have Scout, which is a good card, which would have been annoying if Mecha Frieza didn't get banned, because of that is a 2-cost activate main. If your leader card is yellow or Turles Crusher Corpse card, and you choose 1 of your opponent's cards in active mode, your opponent may switch the chosen card to rest mode, and if they don't, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and gain control of it. So that's pretty nutty. So it's a good thing Mecha got banned. So otherwise they'd be just playing this for free, choosing their energy, saying you either tap that energy or I take on your cards, and that's a horrible position to be put in. And then we got some new ones for Gohan. We got first 2 fields and a normal activate battle. First one is Fast Fire, 1 cost field card. If your leader card is a Saiyan, yellow Saiyan card, when this card is placed in the battle area, and up to 1 mono yellow Saiyan card with energy cost of 4 from your deck, and shuffle your deck. So that is quite cool. It's got this kind of a similar that's basically like Planet Vegeta skill on a different field card, but it's also got, but unlike Planet Vegeta, this only searches for mono yellow, whereas Planet Vegeta just searches for any Saiyan card. But it does also have another auto where you place this card in a Zona's drop area from your battle area, And in the opponent's turn, they may choose one card in their hand to discard it, and if they don't, you choose all filled extra cards with energy cost of 1 in the battle areas and place them in areas drop areas. Now, I can't think of any 1-cost field cards that's used that much, apart from maybe Healing Pod in like very like a small number of decks that don't really see much meta play. So it's not amazing, but at least it has a way to trigger for your leader, for the Gohan leader, because it doesn't end the opponent's turn, filling all the conditions on it. And then we have Higher Dragon's Home as another 1-cost yellow fill card with 3 autos on it this time. First one is if your leader card is a yellow Saiyan card. When this card is placed in the battle area, and up to 1 monster card with energy cost of 3 or less from your deck to your hand, and shuffle your deck. So it's a nice searchability for monster cards. It's just any monster card when energy costs 3 or less. I think all the monster cards are 3 or less. Then another auto where at the end of the opponent's turn, place a card in its drop area, so it triggers your Gohan leader's effect to flip back over. And another one for 2 energy. When this card is placed in its owner's drop area from the battle area, you choose it to 1 monster card with energy cost of 2 or less from your hand and play it. So that's not great because there's only 2 costs. No, I think it's going to be 3. 2-cost monster cards, but it's not really worth it to pay 2. If it was pay 1, that'd be cool, but paying 2 to play 1 monster card, which at the most is 20k skillless, isn't that great. Then we have Blessing of the Tree of Might, which is a 1-cost extra card with activate battle skill of choose one of your cards that gets 5k power for the battle for each marker on your opponent's unison. Now this is very situational, because unless your opponent's got a huge unison with a load of markers on, it's not going to gain that much. Like, it can gain a 10k boost, and but it's all dependent on your opponent having unison on board and certain amount of markers on. And then the last extra card we got for set 15 in yellow is like something like technically wish support, but not very good wish support. So it's Nature's Revival, 2-cost extra card. Permanent, this card gains desire in all areas, and its ever skill is activate main, play up to 2 skillless monster cards with energy cost of 1 and 2 respectively from your deck in rest mode. So it's not that great. You can play a 1-cost skillless and a 2-cost skillless for free technically, but that isn't amazing. Like, it's not very good wish support, especially with what we've already got for yellow in this. It just seems that they just wanted to slap desire on it, so you can, so they can say they're giving wish some support. But that is all the set 15 yellow cards. Next we have the SPR for yellow, and we know for this set that we're getting less SPRs. I think 1 less SPR because we're getting 4 secrets in this set. And so for yellow, it's only getting 1 SPR, and that is for Vimplow, which is really nice art, but not on a very good card in my opinion. But the art is just phenomenal, which is the main thing with special rares, just the art being so nice. Then we have also the black SPR, which we saw, which I don't think they took a while to reveal, because we were meant to be getting this week up to Friday, we were meant to be getting the black and yellow reveals, and then starting from yesterday, we were meant to be getting the blue reveals. But I think because of the announcement on Friday about the finals information, with a lot of information in it, that got pushed back. So the next 2 days of yesterday and today took up having more reveals for the stuff this week. So we're gonna not see blue reveals until tomorrow now. But the special rare for black, because that's only getting one special rare as well, is the Ultimate Minus Energy Powerball, which has some, once again, really nice art. But this one I haven't seen. I think the other one had Omega. I can't remember. I'm not 100% sure. But I think the other one was the Omega on it. But this one's now Sin Zeno. And then we get into some tournament packs. So just like in the last set, with this set's tournament pack, we're getting some reprints, and the reprints we're getting for set 15 TP is, first one is Khalifa, the Awakened Power, which if you don't remember, it's the SR 4-cost Khalifa from set 7, where it's a 4-cost 20k double strike, and during your opponent's turn, at the end of a battle, once you combo with this card from your combo with this card, you get you can choose up to 1 yellow Khalifa cards in your battle area and play on top of this card. And then when it's played, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, orange, and switch to rest mode. Like, I'm not sure why this was reprinted. Is a really, really weird one. I don't think anybody requested. Because if you look back at the last one, in the last one we had Violent Race, which is a highly requested and sought after card to be reprinted, and they reprinted that because a lot of people asked for it. Because it's basically a staple for red. And the other one we had, because we had 2 of them, was an Hirudegarn. And at least with the Hirudegarn, it was relevant because in the same set we were getting Hirudegarn. We were getting a Hirudegarn's a new Hirudegarn archetype, which that card actually could work with some of the new cards. But in this, as we've seen with all the yellow cards now, and there's no yellow Khalifa in this set, and it needs to be on top of a yellow Khalifa, and all the U6 stuff is in blue. So if they wanted to have something that was relevant to this set, or it made sense, it would have been the Kale instead of the Khalifa. And as far as I'm aware, it's not a very hard card to get, and it's not a relevant card at the moment. Like, it's so old, it's not great. But for some reason, that was chosen as one of the reprints for its tournament pack. But the other one that has been requested, and it's a nice one, is Fuse the Master Deity's Wrath. Like, it's got a reprint in the collector's volume, but still, it's a collector's volume. You had to pay like 90 quid to get the collector's volume, and you got 1 copy. So it's nice that we're getting more reprints of it in TV. It could have been a better TP. But still, this is a good card, very good card for green, and it's a nice reprint to see. Because it seems like with Bandai now, what they're trying to do is like when we ask for something to be reprinted, they're gonna reprint it so many times to just basically make sure that we have access to it, almost anything. Like if you look at the Heroic Prospect, we're gonna see it's gonna be having at least four reprints now, so there's going to be 5 different copies you can get because people wanted it, so Bandai decided to reprint it like constantly, even though it's not that great a card anymore. But with other tournament packs we got some yellow ones, so once again another colour where we got some reprints that's relevant to the cards in the set, and one where it's for older stuff that it doesn't really help that much. So the first one we got is Turles Brutal Persuasion. So it's a 4-cost 20k, dual attack, and it's got permanent where if your opponent's battle card would be KO'd, if your opponent's battle card would be KO'd by this card's attack, you gain control of instead, and then you may switch this card to active mode. So that is that's pretty cool. So if you manage to defeat your opponent's battle card in battle, you can take control of it instead of killing it, which is really nice. And it gains its skills as well. But I think the skills you won't get the skills on the card if it's like an enter play effect, because instead of going to your drop area, it just switches control. It doesn't actually go to drop, so that's quite interesting. And it's also got an auto of Spirit Boost 1. When this card is played from your hand, choose up to 1 face-up battle card in your opponent's life and play it in your opponent's battle area in rest mode with its skills to get for the game. So this is an interesting card. It doesn't really go in theme at all with this set, with the yellow Turles stuff, because with the yellow Turles stuff, you're flipping your own life face up, and unlike the green stuff, which is flipping your opponent. Like the green stuff in the old set 12 stuff for green, it was revolving around flipping your opponent's life up. Whereas the yellow one in this set is flipping, the green stuff flips your opponent's life. The yellow stuff in this set flips your life. And this one, for its also requires your opponent to have a card face up in their life that is a battle card that you can play. Like, it's not a great card. Like, it's going to be excellent for cube. Like, this is 100% going in my cube list, my draft cube, because it's such a strong card. But in competitive play, 4 and G, with no protection coming out. It's very costly to pay for 4 energy, and without protection, it's going to be easily counterplayed. It's like just having with the form we've got at the moment with Zamasu. Zamasu's not going to even let that be played. The only good thing it's kind of got for competitive play is if you can somehow with other stuff flip your opponent's life and have it put your opponent down to 1, flip that 1 life over, and it'd be a battle card. You can play this to kill them, because then you just play this, choose the face-up card after sacrificing and mark off your unison, and then take the last life to play on the field to kill them. That's the only way I can see it being good in the meta. But yeah, it's a weird support for the archetype that doesn't really coincide with any of the theme of the deck. Then the other one we have is Son Gohan Might Unleash. So this is support for the old stuff in set, I think it was set 6? Yeah, I think it's set 6, but like the old yellow Bojack stuff. It says a cantrip because of the auto when this card's played, draw 1. And it's got the any other auto skills, limit 1 for 2 yellow. If your leader card is a yellow Saiyan card, when this card is played from your hand, you may choose 1 Son Goku Guardian Angel in your deck or hand, place it under the card. And if you do that, you choose 1 Finishing Blow Son Gohan from your hand and play on top of this card, and then you shuffle your deck if you look through it. So it's pretty interesting, like way too late for that, which supports the old set 6 Son Gohan theme. So it just brings it out for 1 less energy, because it's I think the Finishing Blow was a 4 cost, and you need 1 energy to play it, and it's the second auto only triggers when it's played. So you're basically paying 3 energy to draw a card and then bring out the 4-drop for 1 energy less. It's not amazing, but it might be handy for that deck, but I don't see it bringing the deck out to do anything relevant anytime soon. So it's again, yellow tournament pack cards are really lackluster. And then we also have the black ones as well. So this one we got is a black Broly Unknown Power. So this is support for the, if people remember it, the old black promo Broly leader we got for watching the film in cinemas, or in the UK just for attending events. It's a 2-cost 4K with a permanent of if your leader card is black, reduce energy cost of this card in your hand by 1, so it's technically a 1 cost. Or it's a pseudo 1 cost. And it has an auto of when this card is played from your hand, your opponent may look at your life, which is already is not great. But if they do, you draw 2 cards, then your opponent chooses 2 cards in your life, puts them in your drop area, then you just add that many cards from the top of your deck in your life, and then shuffle your life. So it's really weird how you play this for 1, and your opponent gets to look at your life, so they get to see if there's anything in your life. But if they do that, then you get to draw 2 cards. But if they don't look at your life, you get nothing. You just play this for 1 energy if they don't want to look at your life. But if they do, if they've got things like your secret rare in there, they can just drop your secret rare or anything relevant in there, which isn't great. And then you just randomly put in the top, then you just replacing them with the top cards of your life deck into your life then instead. And your opponent gets, and the thing with this is your opponent gets to look at your life, but you don't, which is not great really. And the reason that's not great is because it's activate main for 2 black. If your leader card is a black Broly card and you place 1 card from your life in your drop area, which is already not great, you look at your life and then evolve to 1 Broly card with an evolved skill from your life on top of this card to shuffle your life, and you can't play battle cards for the turn. So that's really bad, because you're critting your life, which you could potentially crit the only target in your life by doing the cost, and you've got to take it from your life. You don't replace your life, you're just taking a Broly from your life to evolve skill and evolving it on top of this card if you do have that, and you don't replace the life after, and then you're restricted by not being able to play any more battle cards for the turn after that. It just seems so bad. And this is the first ever support we've got for the Dark Broly leader, because all that Dark leader has been is a lackluster choice for the Vegex deck stuff, like the Goku, the Vegeta Trunks and stuff like that. And now it's got support, and it's just 1 card in a TP, which is annoying being a TP card, because you got to attend events and try and get it. and have a 1 in 16 chance, I think, or 18 chance to get it. It's so bad. And then probably better support than the Broly is we got is Mirror Vow to the Creator, which is some old Toa theme Toa deck support. It's a free cost 15k, overarm free, and also when this card is played, draw one card, then choose one card in your hand and set it as a warp. And then it's got a unit absorb for 3 black. If you have 4 more energy and you place one Toa card from your warp under this card, if your leader card is a Toa or Android card, choose it to 1 mirror card with energy cost of 7 or less in your hand or warp and play on top of this card in active mode. So this gives you once again another mirror card that can evolve into Creator Absorb, and this is probably a better one than the old one we had, which was the same. I think the same power and cost more. I think it was in set 4 where you can overarm it for free and then use and activate. Use its unit absorb, which costs 4 of any, just like 4 of any color energy, to do the same thing. But at least this one has a better way. Is like a better option for that, because it's got a nice auto where you draw a card and then you can set up either having the tower if you need it, or the Creator Absorb in your warp if you need be, which is really nice. So let's say if you've got one but not the other, this instantly sets it up. And it's cheaper by being only 3 costs instead of 4 costs, but you do have to wait until turn 4 for it. So all this basically does is, in Toa, when you have the turn 4 and you have that play where you can overwhelm the mirror, the one that has the cost 4 to evolve, just to beat out your opponent's counter plays, because if they don't counter play it, you can then pay, if they don't stop it from get rid of it after it comes down, you can then pay 4 to evolve on top of it into a Creator Absorb, get the effect, because it had deflect, to rip 3 cards from your opponent's hand and have it on board to then swing and use the leader to give it crit. And it had double strike as well from that. So you bring it out, have double strike, rip 3 cards from your hand, and the leader give it crit to be a nasty big swing. And if they did counterplay this, then you could play the 5-drop from the anniversary box for 4 energy, because you would have 10 in your warp by then, to then still go ahead and do your play. It just means that you've got a better option now, another mirror for the deck, and a better option for that one to evolve cheaper, but you still got to wait to turn 4. So it's a decent one for an old deck, a lot better than Broly, but still not the greatest support, but good for the total leader. And then we've got some of the final stuff. As you can see from the screen, we got a lot of information about finals, and what we got is we got to look at the metal prize cards we're going to get. We also got to look at their art, the alternative normal art for that actual normal cards that aren't metal, and we also have look at the mats and stuff. So I'm only going to go over for the European one because I mainly cover the European events, but it's just for these cards, they're going to be for every region as well. But for the European one, we got the information on the date, which is the weekend of November 20th to 21st, and it's going to be online via webcam. And unlike the rest of the ones, the other events, the European one isn't open. It's invite only, where you had to get the invite from either store championships throughout Europe or from the car market events. And this is good, but then I know a lot of players got screwed over of their invite from their store championships due to the change in the ruling for August ones. Like I know myself and a few others got the pride of it from winning a store champs, and then because it didn't have 16 players or more because of COVID, we got denied our place, which sucks. But with the prizing, we've got for participation, you get a participation player map, which you're going to see. You get a tournament vault pack vault set, which includes one each of six cards. And then also a championship pack vault set, which is one. The tournament pack vault set is 6 different tournament pack cards that have got like the gold kind of finals look, like we got for the last finals. and you also get a champion pack 1, which is champion pack, which is 6 different champion pack cards in the gold finals foiling. And you also get 3 of event pack 8, and you get 5 of each champion pack for 2020 volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. Then when you get to top 25%, you get 3 more tournament pack vault sets. You get 3 more champion pack vault sets. So you get a full playset of all 6 cards by getting top 25%. And you get 5 more champion pack, event pack 8, and 3 more championship pack volume 21. Champion pack 21 volume 3. But then if you're lucky enough to get into, or skillful enough to get in the top 32, you then get, I'm not sure if this is for all of them, but you, according to the post they made, you get a $300 travel voucher, a top 32 playmat, a top 32 merit card, and then an alt art card set volume 1, 2, and 3, 4 times of each of that. So 4 alt art set volume 1, 4 alt art set volume 2, and 4 alt art set volume 3, which is of the card set. And then if you manage to get top 16 for the final, you then get a top 16 merit card. You then get a top 16 alt art leader. You get a top 16 alt art metal leader card as well. You get a winner gold stamp of the champ pack volume 21 volume 1. And you get the same of that for the volume 2 and the volume 3. You get 2 lots of the winner gold stamp ones. And then you get a finalist gold stamp of one set of both the tournament pack vault set and champion pack vault set. And then just like last one, you get extra prizing if you make between 4th and 1st. Where for 4th, you get, if you do end up coming 4th, you get an extra 1 set of the tournament pack vault set with finalist. Same for the champion pack 1, and you get a booster box. And then the difference between that for 3rd place is you get a 3rd place trophy, a 3rd place playmat, a 3rd place alt art leader, and then an alt art metal leader card, which you get the 3rd choice out of the 3. And then you get another 2 sets of the tournament pack vault set, finalist gold stamp, and then same for the championship vault set, and also 6 booster boxes. And then for 2nd place, you of course get a 2nd place playmat, 2nd place trophy, 2nd place alt art leader, and then the 2nd choice of the alt art metal leader. Then 4 more finalist tournament pack vault sets, 4 more finalist champion pack 2021 vault set, 9 booster boxes, and an invitation to 2021 Worlds. And if you do win the finals, the winner gets a 1st place playmat, 1st place trophy, 1st place alt art leader, the 1st choice of the alt art metal leaders cards, which you're going to see in a bit. Well, one we got on the screen now because we don't have the art for it. Then you get 8 copies of the tournament pack vault set finalist stamp, same for the championship. Then you get a whole case, you get 12 booster boxes. Then you get an invitation to 2022 National Championships and an invitation to 2021 Worlds Finals, which is pretty interesting. So a lot of good pricing for it. Just knowing they put this up really close to when the finals is, so a month before the finals, which if they put this up earlier in the year or a lot earlier, that would perhaps make made attendance for some of the webcam events. I know they would have made some of the webcam events entry a bit a few more. It would have gained a lot more interest to actually play in the webcam events because it's a really good pricing. But where nobody knew if we actually going to have a finals this year, if it's going to be in person on webcam and stuff, a lot of people didn't even try to enter any events because we had a massive lack of information. But yeah, for one of the gold stamp leaders, we got this alt art one, which as you can see, you can't see the picture because this is going to be a metal leader for a leader from set 16, which we haven't seen yet. But another choice we do have, one of the choices we do know, is the old Shin Shenron from set 10 in gold stamp. So alt art and Metal Leader, which looks really nice, really interesting. And the other choice would be the starter deck red Vegeta Leader with alt art as well, as you can see, in as gold Metal Leader card. And here we go. We have a look at the normal alt art cards you get as well as. So this is the one each player gets. So if you're first place, you get the one we're going to see at some point soon. When you come second, you get the Sin, and third place you get the Vegeta, which is pretty cool. And like this is just like the front side art's going to be exactly the same, but the back side is quite nice art. Like, the Vegeta looks amazing. The Sin actually looks pretty cool, but we still have no idea what the first place one's going to be. And then for the top 16 leader card alt art is the Gogeta Fateful Fusion. So this is a look at the top 16 metal leader card we got. You're gonna get if you make top 16, which is pretty nice. This is one I like to play for, because I love this leader in this deck. And this is what it looks like for the alt art if you make top 16, which is quite nice. And it's nice that we're getting top 16 alt art leaders as well, because I think last time we got the metal leader, but we didn't get a top 16 alt art leader, which is quite nice. And then look at the merit cards. So just like last time we got merit cards, this time we get another. I don't remember if it's participation, but this is the ones we get. So for top 16, we get the SSB Vegeta, and for the finalist one, we get the Goku and Vegeta. Then for the tournament pack vault sets, for the gold sets, some of the choices we got. So this is the one where these are from the tournament pack. So once again, we got another. This is the fourth reprint. It's the fifth copy of Heroic Prospects. We're getting a nice gold one. We're also getting a second reprint and a third copy of the SS4 Bardock fighting against Fate, which is quite nice. And we're getting another reprint of the Omega Shenron Ultimate Shadow Dragon as the first three. The other three we get is Chain Attack Bardock. So we get a reprint of the Chain Attack Bardock, which is quite nice. It's a very good card because it's one of the few cards from the King of Vegeta deck that is still pretty good despite getting nerfed. We also get Chi-Lai from Behind the Scenes Heroine, which is a quite interesting one, and also Android 16 Stalwart Defender, the Ever TP one. And then for the Championship Pack ones, we get reprints of the Bergamo, get Guidance of an Ace, which looks really nice. Also, we get Robotic Purpose. So this is going to be the second known reprint, because we know we're going to get for reprinted in the Collection Volume 2 next year. But before that, we get this nice finals print, and also we get his Come Forth Shenron, which is a very interesting, pretty terrible pick in my opinion of a card for it. I thought it'd be reprinted in the vault set. And then the other three we got is the Massive Limiter, a really good indicator that even when we get to the next set, it's not going to get hit because it's getting reprinted. Because I don't think there's any card in this set in this game that's been reprinted and then shortly after it's been banned. If there has been, leave a comment down below to say let me know, because that's off the top of my head. I haven't looked into it, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think Zamasu is going to be hit because of this reprint. Then we get King Vegeta Support and Commanders one, and Tien Shinhan Ceaseless Strike as well. So that's the 6 cards for both the tournament pack and the championship pack of the vault sets we're going to get for the finals. Then for the playmats, this is the first place playmat we're getting, so it's a nice UI Goku with the 1-star ball for champion. Then we've got SSB Vegeta, I think evolved, for the second place one. It's quite funny that second place is Vegeta. It's quite thematic to Dragon Ball in general. Then third one place, we have the Golden Frieza one with the 3-star ball. So those are the 3 playmats we get for first, second, third. And for top 32, as you know, we got a playmat for top 32, and it's a Goku versus Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga, which looks quite nice. It's a very nice looking playmat for top 32. And then for participation, we get like we got for the last finals, where we got the We got participant playmat. We had the banner, a picture from that set itself. Like we had the Saiyan. It's not Saiyan Showdown. Assault the Saiyans one for the entry playmat, and the last finals, and this one we get the Saiyan Showdown playmat for the participation for this one. But not only that, and the last bit of we do have is for judges for the event, we do get a playmat as well. And for the judge one, we get the SS4 Goku for going from SS4 Goku to Dragon Fist to SS4 Awakened, which is quite nice. But that's everything for today. Sorry it's been such a long video, a good hour as well, because we did have a lot of information. It wouldn't have been too much information with just the Black Halo, but then we got a lot of information on Friday about the final stuff to finally know when it is, what the prize is going to be, and yeah, just more information about it and what we're going to get. But if you have watched it all the way to the end now, thank you for watching, and it's been a lengthy one. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Like if you enjoyed the video, comment if there's anything I missed, got wrong, or anything you want to ask for. And lastly, feel free to subscribe. It keeps you updated with my videos as when they drop, and also helps me out and and the channel in general. But thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.